Good evening and salutations, my JH fans. What an episode. I don't even know where to start off with, but I got a theory. So maybe I'll start off with this scene first. Alright, so in the beginning, Cody got on the show. There was a lot of people that couldn't stand him. Like, they couldn't stand him. Okay? And I do feel like GH does listen. Now, whether he do something about it, that's questionable at times. Sometimes they have, sometimes they haven't. You know what I'm saying? You can't sit there and please everyone, right? But the point is, he did not actually have a very good, warm reception. So, seeing this scene with her and Gladys being over the top, right? Gladys has just been a god awful character, right? She's been so bad that she actually makes Nina look good in comparison, okay? And maybe I should have noticed it right then and there. Because you look at this scene with her and Gladys. With him and Gladys. Now, as much as people do not like Cody, Cody has actually come through a couple of times with Sasha. He's had some really good scenes with Leo. Okay? And it just makes me wonder, did they have Gladys go over the top to make people feel more warmer and more compassion for Cody as some sort of way of maybe emotionally, how do I sit there and put this in words? Maybe emotionally manipulating some people that really hated Cody to being like, yo, bro, like I can't stand this guy, but this woman right here, she's just too much. I feel like that's just one theory. I'm not meant to saying it's the truth, but she was over the top today. Okay? And normally a scene like this would have probably had me in a much different mood, but it just made me sit there and think like she's being extra to make Cody look better. Because he didn't actually have the woman's arm walker. And maybe scenes like this and the other scenes that they had was maybe trying to get people to have a different opinion of Cody. Obviously, Gladys is still being the normal scumbag that she has been for quite a while. And she pretty much kind of makes sure that Sasha takes her meds. Um, and I feel like maybe her being over there, like her, going at Cody was some sort of way of triggering something because it seemed like it was really over the top, even for her, right? Now, if I was Cody, I just would have pushed her ass in the pool and just been done with her. Like dead ass serious. I would have just pushed her ass right in the pool and just been done with her. Like it even kind of annoyed me that Maxie came over there to say something. Because Glass was like, "Oh, what is he doing here? It's a free area. Like you don't control any of this." And Maxie going over there. Oh, make sure you stay away from Sasha. Does he look like my dude is literally sitting there chilling. Like, relax and go over there and handle what you got to do. Like, your little ass don't need to sit there and come over there and start bothering him, being up in the sun and everything like that. Like, go somewhere. I can put on a shirt. Oh, okay, Maxie, whatever. I can't believe he should have purposely not put on a shirt just to piss her off. But this story gets started, and Maxie's there to sit there and try to pull, try to make sure it does not turn into another PR disaster, right? You know, I was gonna sit there and say something. And I was like, you know what? Let's just not go there. Anyway, this interview starts to go on, and this woman is asking some very challenging questions. I mean, it's questions that any person any reporter, whatever, that's doing a story like this will ask, from the baby story to husband and meltdown and everything like that. And then for the most part, she seems like she's handling it pretty well, given God knows what's in the system. But eventually, between Gladys acting like a jackass, her seeing, and now she's sitting there seeing Cyrus, and she picked up that knife, and at that point, she lost it. And she wound up stabbing Cody, literally like in the side. So, if you're wondering how they're going to sit there and handle her leaving for maternity, because she's pregnant and stuff, this is the way that they're going to sit there and go. They're going to put her in Shady Brook. And I know a lot of people, I've talked to a lot of people last night in the live stream and, seeing comments and stuff like that. And I know a lot of people sitting there dreading this scene. So, like, the minute she starts sitting there saying Colt, Cyrus is like, here we go. Y'all knew right then and there that it was just going to get downhill from there. Okay, so it's going to take me a minute to process this. I would sit there and say permanent change now, since that's what the announcer was sitting there saying, by this new woman that's playing Molly named Brooke Ann Smith. It was very hard to sit there and concentrate on her acting skills and saying, oh, was she going to be a good fit? Because I've said more than once, they should just sit there and recast the both of them. Well, my prayers did get answered the first time, but for one of them. I got to work on that other one. I know you can do it, all right? Molly. I the level of jackassery that was coming out this woman's mouth was just unbelievable. I feel like at this point they are just doing either a total character rewrite to fit the plot, which is my most likely guess, because this is out of character for her. And even Sam is not there defending her by saying she didn't do this to cause pain. This was, yeah, it was impulsive, but it was never meant as an intent to hurt you. So what, are you taking her side now? What the am I watching at this point? I mean, here's the thing. It was a train wreck from the minute that she just ran on in her house to every stupid and acidine thing that she said, from her trying to make this about her, being the center of attention. I mean, I got to a point where it's like I just was sitting down watching this, and I had to put down my pen because I'm just like, I can't even write down all the foolishness that is coming out this woman's mouth. You ever just sat there and just watched somebody just start saying the most dumbest things possible, that you are actually profound, where it's like you reached a new height level of stupidity and you're just dumbfounded by it? That's how it was. And it makes it even difficult for me because I gotta write this nonsense down. Okay? It was so bad, again, I couldn't even concentrate on, like, man, is she actually gonna be a good fit? Because I was too busy I wasn't even mad at that point. I wasn't even annoyed. I was just like, I don't even know what I'm watching. But in the end, Christina did come by, and Molly sat there and looked at her like, what are you doing in this house? Like, she's not allowed to be in the house. To be fair, they have been playing Molly stupid for a hot minute when TJ was there at the Savoy, and Molly's like, well, what are you doing here? Come on, I know this is a soap opera, but could you add a little bit of logic in this? Like, could you just insert just a tiny speck of it so it could make sense and it won't feel like my brain is about to explode? So you got that going on. Now, this scene between Christina and Sonny, I felt like there was more of a chemistry test to sit there and see how they would do together and if people would respond well, because that's important. Um, and she's still not working for me. I'll be wrong. The thing is, it's not that Kate is a bad actress. I just not feeling her as Christina. And this scene with Sonny does not help. And I understand that Sonny has certain parameters, okay? Or Maurice has certain parameters. Um, Certain people that, he's like, yo, listen, if you're not bringing your A game, we're going to have to rewrite this or something because this person isn't going to work out. All right? So I know this may have been some sort of measure or test to sit there and see if she's worthy of, the mantle of Christina Davis. Parentos, whatever the hell her name is. The scene didn't really go anywhere because Sunny still doesn't have a clue of what the other topic is. She comes over there with some sort of permanent issue, and Sunny is like, "I'll take care of it," but Christina's like, "No, I want to do it. I'm a big girl. I got my big girl pants. I can rock this." So Sunny's like, "All right, cool, do it. Just do it in person." That's my advice. And then they get into Christina being kind of defensive as far as Alexis being like, "Oh, why y'all talking behind my back? Like what she want you to talk to me about?" But of course, she doesn't say what it is. So Sunny is just blind the whole time of this conversation and really can't assess something or really kind of help with the situation. You don't know what the situation is. So yeah. Uh, um. So you got that going on, right? It doesn't go nowhere, and it's just blah. Now, the scene with Trina and Taggart, right? This is more just about Trina struggling with feeling guilty for her not making time for Taggart. Well, and she almost actually said in front of his face that, "Oh, I was concerned for my dad." You know, she stopped herself, but she feels guilty. She's being pulled in so many different directions between Curtis feeling like she lost a lot of time, the stuff with Spencer and Esme, and feeling guilty for neglecting Taggart and also not keeping their promise as far as things not changing, which is going to change regardless. But Taggart did his best. But the thing is, you saw the pain in his eyes when she was about to slip up and say that. And then afterwards, she's gone. I knew what he was going to do. I knew he was going to sit there and do because I was just like, I know it's kind of a sensitive subject, but I was going to sit there and say, this is not the way. This is not the way. Like, it's not going to solve your problems. And when I say it's not the way, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you do, just write in the comment section. But then he pulled out like this old flask or whatever. Anyway, yes, he pulls out the flask. It's like whatever TV show that you ever watch, when they pull out like that flask, it's something either bad or they're trying to avoid something. So it's like, let me just pull out this flask. I don't know. There's something about it whenever they pull that out. It's like, nothing good is either coming from it or whatever they're going through isn't good. Or they got to sit there and do something to numb the pain of getting through whatever it is. It's like that flask is kind of like, I don't know. Would they sit there and show those after school specials on ABC? It just reminds me of that. But yeah, he's going through it. I'm assuming he didn't get that job of being the temporary commissioner since Mac is there. Esme. Nope, before I get to Esme. Spencer. And Portia. You know, at this point, we've been watching this channel. You know how I feel about Spencer, right? It takes a lot for me to actually feel any sort of compassion or defend Spencer whatsoever. So whenever Portia is just in a scene with Spencer, it's just like, oh Jesus Christ, here we go. What did Portia do? And all the stuff that happens that clearly is Spencer's fault. Because Spencer has not been good for Trina since day one. And everything that's bad has happened. It's clearly been because of Spencer, and it's clearly Spencer's fault. Okay? So if she gets like the common cold, I'm pretty sure she's gonna sit there and blame that on Spencer also. And it was just one of those things where it was just so tiring. So tiring. And I know I'm not the only person. And the thing is, I'm tired of it, and I don't even like Spencer. Okay? I don't even like that dude. And I'm tired of it. Oh, she got on the boat with you, okay, and somehow that's his fault that your daughter got. Maybe you should be sitting there talking to her about her running into danger for him. It's just so acidine that you're gonna blame him for what happened with Greenland or whatever the hell that place is called. That pissed me off, right? Yeah, somehow it's his fault that Trina ran to him. Like, okay, bro, whatever. You're an idiot. Um. Oh, and Curtis wakes up. So, Hat Daddy was there. I almost forgot to sit there and say him. At this point, I was gonna sit there and say who Hat Daddy is. I'm not doing it. Most people have been watching this channel long enough to know who Hat Daddy is. And if you don't know who Hat Daddy is, ask somebody in the comment section. They'll tell you who Hat Daddy is. Um. Oh yeah, Esme and Alexis. Esme just rummaging through Alexis's stuff. Alexis comes in there, and she's not happy about it. Now, one thing I should sit there and mention when she left, because she was sitting there trying to pick up the piece, pick up the papers and stuff like that that was on the floor, and put it into put it back into the box. And Alexis like, oh, what are you still doing here? I'm like, okay, cool. So I guess you're gonna sit there and pick up all those boxes, right? Like you're gonna do that? Okay, so she could just go and you could just do all that heavy lifting. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I would have thought it would have been more better for you to sit there and say, hey, how about you clean up this mess, pick up those boxes, and then you can leave. Okay, cool. I guess you're gonna do it by yourself. Doesn't she have some sort of like bone thing going on? Like if she lifts up something too heavy or whatever, it could not be good. And yet you told the person that can actually help you with that to leave. Um, Esme tells her not to run the story because she's like, oh, it's Ryan and Heather Chamberlain and stuff like. I mean, Ryan Chamberlain and Heather. It's like, don't run that story. I don't want people to sit there and it's. I'm the daughter of those two. It's hard enough that they're being me as it is. And she's like, well, you're a Cassadine, you can understand that. Now Alexis is like, well, I've learned, I've did the work to sit there and distance myself from it, And she's like, well, you haven't taken accountability for any of it. And I'm just like, well, what do you want her to like? Okay, but what do you want her to do though? You want her to go back to jail? Like she was in jail. Okay, she was in jail, and Trina thought, Trina told the gang or whatever to not press charges. So what do you want her? This is something that like, what do you want her to do as far as accountability? Because yeah, she can apologize to Trina all she wants. She can apologize to Jocelyn and Cam and she can do all the apology in the world. It's not going to mean nothing. So when people sit there and say that she needs to be held accountable, it's like, well, how do you suppose to do that? Because I thought she was in jail. This is one of the things that has bothered me to some extent, right? This whole thing with Sprina and Trina and everything like that. And I'm just like, I don't understand how people are. It's like Trina is the one who was like, hey, listen, we need to sit there and let this woman free because Esme, the baby's going to be with her. And I'm like, here's the thing, I understood why Trina told the group to not press charges, right? Because of Ace. But that was her choice. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't understand, like how do people want her to be held accountable or anything like that? Like what steps do you want her to sit there and take? Because I always find that word to be somewhat hilarious when they're like, "Oh, she's not held accountable. This person isn't held accountable." It's like, what do you want them to do? You want them to apologize? You want them to sit there and make it into a nice long letter? Like, what do you want? Because I'm confused. I mean, seriously, if you know how she can be held accountable, write it down. I want to know that. Educate me. Okay. I said that in my Sabrina video, which again I stand by every word that I say 10 toes down, as DC was saying. But no, just educate me on how people want Esme to be redeemed or to be held accountable. All right, I feel like that's about it. I can't really think of anything else that wound up happening, but I usually always feel like I missed something. When I do, you know what to do. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about it. We'll talk about all of them, Days, GH, BNB, and YNR. I feel like there's more to say about that. Hmm. Well, I can't think of it. But if I do, I'll say it during the live stream. And with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.